mist from the sky. Dirt turned to rivers, we couldn't ask why. Home swallowed whole, no time to cry. Rising waters tearing through, but we held on, we pulled through. Rising waters drowned the sun, Miami stood, we became one. Mud on our hands, sweat in our veins, voices shouting through the hurricane. The flood took off, but it couldn't take our names. No warning, no mercy, but we ain't breaking, not today. Rising waters tearing through, but we held on, we pulled through. Rising waters drowned the sun, Miami stood, we became one. Sandbags and shovels, hearts made of steel. No flood can drown what we feel. Neighbors, strangers, side by side. In the wreckage, we found our
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. Again, welcome to it if you weren't here the first time when I said it. In studio, of course, I've got Krista, my co-host and producer over there off camera.
Hello.
He's need to be down. Now I can relax. So here we are, guys. Thank you for showing up to this very bizarre show. A little bit different. So here's what's going on. If you've not been in the know, place where we set up shop, Miami, Arizona, it hit by a huge storm. Globe, Miami, Claypool, the whole surrounding area, and like other small towns, like
Oatman.
big towns, like Phoenix. Yeah, Oatman. Like
Oatman.
there's a town here in Arizona that is famous for having a shit ton of donkeys or mules or whatever it is, some sort of animal along those lines. They're definitely not horses. Whatever. That's like their claim to fame. Also torn to shreds over this past week. What a crazy time to be here.
The stash more robust than usual. He shaved his beard. That's why.
I took the sides off. Here's the thing. This storm interrupted a lot of stuff. So I was growing out.
Like the beard.
I just let it go as it went because I was going to shoot a short film that FDO was working with me on, and so I had that planned to shoot this Sunday, yesterday, when the town hadn't fallen apart. So come Saturday night, it's like we're gonna cancel. There's 7 inches of mud everywhere. Can't shoot, even though it probably would have been great.
Yeah.
Like to
all the dirt
looking like. moral of the story is I cracked, I shaved a little bit. I finally washed my hair because it was going to be post-apocalyptic and I wanted to look greasy and I was going to get like gross clothes and stuff. Now that's on hold. Anyway, thanks Brick, Master of the Shave. I almost played that FDO, but next episode, even though now it's a little stale. But anyway, let me get this pulled up for you. So I'm going to be showing you, some of you have already seen these obviously, but not all of them. This is a collection of my photos from around the town, basically throughout the process up until cleanup efforts.
Yeah, from Thursday through Sunday, I think.
Maybe Sunday. I don't know. It's whatever. We'll go through it. It's a story that tells itself, even though it's hard for some people to tell stories with photos. Some people. Anyway, so here, this is going to be a little impromptu tour of our town, our downtown Miami. Historic, 100+ years old, just getting its shit wrecked this week. So, first up, this is this hole here. This used to be a wall. It's crazy. So I was actually, so Thursday was the day that everything broke loose. I was at the museum in Miami working to set up their radio station. We go, all right, it works more or less. We got to teach the other DJs how to use the equipment and everything. More or less good. It's like a crack of thunder outside. I go, huh? Boosh. I go, that's weird. So I stand in the doorway for a while. And I watch the parking lot fill with water, and I go, maybe I should get back to the shop.
I get a text from David, and he goes, I'm stuck at Bullion Plaza.
It was coming down sideways, and then the power went off. So okay, I'm going back home.
You floated there.
Yeah, I got to the shop, and I go, ugh. That's when the hail started. This is going to be a rough one. So I'm staying in here because hail hurts. Like it was hitting the roof and the hood of my car so hard I thought it was going to leave dents.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to bust the windshield. I was going to be pelted with hail, and hay.
Possibly hay.
Tar and feathered. So whatever. It got to the point where the hail stopped enough where I was like, okay, I feel like I can make it to the car, from the car to the building. So I was wearing flip-flops because I didn't expect this to happen. I roll up my pant legs. And I go, okay, let's do this. Step out of the car. I'm immediately almost washed away. Almost swept from my feet. One shoe ripped from my foot to parts unknown, right? Spoiler alert, it shows up later. So the water is so cold because it's frozen. Most of it was frozen. It was hail. It's coming from all over the place. And I'm like, ugh! So I automatically just shrivel into a little monkey corpse. And I see myself just falling into the water and disappearing into the mud. I can't let that happen. So I claw my way to up to my nipples, I was wet. I hate wet pants. One of the worst feelings is somewhere in wet pants. Thank God I have a spare pair of shorts at the shop because you always have to cover your ass literally everywhere you go. Anywho, crazy as shit. So as I'm sitting in the car waiting for the storm to break enough to make my escape, this is when the wall fell down. So I was like, oh, whoa, it's crazy back there. I'm texting Krista, and I go, huh?
Yeah, and he goes, his building just
so this is the
apart.
Wild Horse Saloon, and he was working to reopen, and then he's really open now. So here's another shot of that. This guy right here, this is the owner of this shop, his little buddy. This is, you can't really, let me get me out of the way. I'm going to probably have to, do that a lot. Get me out of the way. Yeah, so here is Rick. This is basically everybody's go-to for the town. If you need something done, it's Rick who's probably going to do it for you.
Yeah, amazing person.
Everybody in town owes this man basically everything that they've got, roughly. So here's now this is it looks fine. Again, let me get out of the way because you can't really see. But this place looks fine, right? This is after the first volley. The levees hadn't broken, the wash had not overflown. This is actually the owner of this building here. So he's coming to survey the damage. And yeah, it's a little screwed up. There was water in buildings. See if I can. Yeah. So here's the guy, for personal reference, this guy in the tie-dye, that is the Jolt Thrower FTO.
Ah, Jolt Thrower, yes.
So that in the blue shirt, another local character who came out to assess the damage. So yeah, there's I want to say that's that's Keystone.
Yeah.
You can see it right there. Keystone just was like
A mess.
yeah, wrecked like stem to stern. This is the next day. And so one cool thing about this town is there are a lot of people who own classic cars, and they don't just lock them away to be pulled out every other whatever car show. This specific truck I see all over town. Dude takes it everywhere, and it is cherry as hell. But you can see like this is after the first volley. Looks rough. We had some power outages, yada yada. Little water buildup. Still nothing compared to what was going to come. Another shot. So down here, this used to be a bank, and attached to it used to be a church. This little red building was a firehouse. Mamma mia, it was insane. This is what was caught into my tires. I thought, oh, that's fun. Nothing compared to what we would see later. But
Yeah.
a real old-timey tin can. Yeah,
The
just-
flip-flops was your Jezebel. Brick says.
Oh. Yeah, so here's
I just
another,
saw it.
just a wicked shot of what was left over from this dude's establishment.
Crazy.
So you go, I go, whew, that was rough. Water everywhere. Made it through basically. Some roofs were torn off, like the Miami Artworks roof gone. The Lyric soda fountain, like the little soda shop, gonzo in the roof department. Here we are again. The owner's buddy and Jolt Thrower himself, just sort of making the rounds, checking it out. This is the dynamic duo here, Rick and Phil. Whatever. You turn a corner and somebody's humping a shovel. It's one of these two dudes, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So this is there's a staircase in between. So this brick building, let me get out of the way again. This brick building on the left here is the old bank. This is the old firehouse. And there's this legendary stair climb in Globe, Miami. So it's Stair-Arizona. So this is like a zillion million stairs, and it goes way up out of frame. Like you can't see it. It goes up to the top of the goddamn mountain. But like all of this just like
Crap.
just like
Clay
huge rocks.
shit.
Like the amount of equipment and like insane like chunks of household appliances and
Yeah, like there's no pictures of by our house, but like we had a big mulberry tree that got knocked down, and
Yeah.
like the
Shit
amount of
rock.
crap on the street that day, on the Thursday alone, was insane. Like tires rolling down the street, it was nuts.
oh yeah. Half Native says to share the GoFundMe if you can. So whatever.
Okay.
It was also GoFundMe for us. We did sustain damage. Obviously, everybody did. But this is one of the brighter sides of the story. So this is the cat, one of the three the kittens of this dude Bruce, who lived in the basement of this old church. And when the storm hit, everybody was like losing pets and people left, right, and center. So he was happy to see that Buddy, Snow, and Luna made it through. And this here is Buddy. I'm a little bummed because I took a zillion pictures of this goddamn cat, and my camera focused perfectly on that chain link fence every time.
It's a
Look
nice
how
fence.
crisp and clear that rust is. Fucking cat is blurry as hell, though. Jesus, unprofessional. There we go. Another shot. There's this guy's name is Bill. Don't remember this dude's
I
name.
think it's Steve.
Steve Mo. There's the shit that fell off. Some of it anyway. Like the whole wall fell over. He later came over and said that when the guy refurbished the building or whatever, he just forgot to secure it to the concrete.
Yeah, there were no bolts.
So anyone, like if you pulled the door hard enough, that hypothetically might have come down on you. So there you go. Just but I will. So here's the thing: in all of the craziness, the response in this town was incredibly quick. Like the people who live on Sullivan Street, like in those businesses and stuff, like were out immediately. But it wasn't hours before Like stuff like this was rolling
one of
out to like
one of the business owners paid these construction people for them to come for 10 hours on Friday morning.
Yeah, one of the good things about being in a mining town, despite your opinions on mining, is like they take care of their own when shit hits the fan. Like they're not just going to give money for free. Like you have to basically just ask them nicely and they will give you a grant, which is money for free. Yeah, you have to ask them nicely and in the right way. But yeah, they just throw out, they go, oh my God, like, because here's the thing, if the town goes down, the mine goes down. The mine makes all the copper forever everywhere. There's four foundries in the U.S. This is one of them. So yeah, they're going to go like, hey, let's fix this shit up. And they do it fast, man. So this time Keystone again.
And this mud, like it was like clay, like legit, like quicksand.
It was clay. That's all we have out here. If it's not sand, it's clay.
It was insane.
But interesting here. So this is the staircase. Whoop! It goes all the way to the top of that mountain, and even beyond. Because like there's actually, you can't see from where my vantage point is, but there's actually multiple steps up this mountain, and it's fucking dizzy. I went halfway up once, thought I was going to die of a heart attack, and it came down before I decided to fall down because my legs were starting to go out. Here we go. Let me get this out of the way. So here we go. Just more. This is the old VFW. This is this pink building here is the old fire station. There's a little crow's nest where they'd actually like check the town.
A dude actually lives in that old fire station with a bunch of cats,
which is wild and weird. Oh yeah, and like you can't see it, but there's a building right next to it behind, like down Gibson here, and there's like 2 or 3 cars just parked in it. People buy these buildings just like park shit or like house old pianos and shit. This is one of the alleyways. Like there's this, it's the coolest place that we are. Like aside from the destruction, there are all these cool little alleyways that are just like perfect for your aspiring filmographer, photographer, whatever. It's just like, I don't know. It's a ghost town that is still kind of alive. It's a hospice town. Mm-hmm. Because they still got a mail or the post office. They're doing so. Where we are now, this parking lot here is the senior center. Like this van is the Meals on Wheels van that makes a lot of treks around the area. And you're probably not going to understand, like, because there's no vantage point here, but like right where this dude is standing is like right in front of this bridge. So the water and this bridge here, there's like, I don't know, 15-foot drop.
Yeah.
Like when I walk under the bridge and I stick my arm in the air, I probably got 12 or 13 feet and I can't touch it.
Yeah.
But the water was coming up over this.
The next day.
Yeah, the next day. This is all still before the insanity, but like whoosh, it was like water is, you get enough of it, it's fucking insanely scary. More of little Bill there. Bail. So here, like, again, this is the next day before the next storm.
Right. This is the morning of the next storm.
Everybody is just sort of hanging out, chilling, vibing, cleaning up, going like, it's supposed to rain again.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, this is Krista. It didn't grab you.
That's okay.
Focal point, but Krista and Eva there. We have the news people showing up over here.
The news really globbed onto Bale and his facade falling down.
And God, whatever. I don't want to be like the guy who's like, this guy. But don't, these fucking people get their ass on the news and wag their tongue about God. And they go, hey, what do you do? How are you going to get through this? They go, well, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to turn to God. Hey, God, maybe next time, get here before the wall falls. Why is it always you go, oh, crap, he'll get here after? Like, omnipotent doesn't mean he gets to, like, not see anything.
Right.
Anything. I mean that literally. If you're omnipotent, there's nothing you cannot not know about or see. So to be like, whoopsie daisy, that one's on someone. You know who's going to help us through this? The guy who caused it or could have prevented it. Whatever. Hot take maybe. Whatever. So there he is getting his donuts glazed by a news lady, and he is just eating that shit up.
He's a flirter too. 83-year-old man.
Anybody anywhere is going to get their donuts glazed by any attention from anybody official. Doesn't matter what happens. Someone with a microphone, like you can be interviewed by a podcast now. People light up.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, happier than a pig and shit. Like every news van in the valley was circling our spot. So this is behind, like, tragically, just mere hours before the next cell broke. And here's that poor dude. So here we are, cut to the next day after the big storm. This Pontiac didn't used to be surrounded by rocks. Crazy, right? Because you'd think, well, if I had a Pontiac, I would definitely park it in a gravel heap.
Yeah, why not?
No, this guy didn't do that. But here it is. Just fucking laid to rest here. And P.S., but this thing was never going to drive again. Like, nobody is ever going to, like, come along, see this, and go, like...
Yeah.
And even if they did, who would you go to and be like, hey, can I buy this old Plymouth? So here we are. This is, like, the back of our building is... So this is the side of our building right here, and the back is right there. So this is where the wash is, and where... This little guy is, that's where I jumped down into the wash. And it's like a 6-foot drop from here to where you can, like, you can't see me. Like, from there, there's like a little 6-foot drop, and then it goes down even deeper into there.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely, like, that. Those are like, power meters and shit that are just getting douched. Our gas meter is basically somewhere over here, sheared off of the pipe. Like, gonzo. It is just literally gone. I was like following it. There's a pipe hanging out of the back of the building I was looking at. I go, where does that go? I was like, oh, that's our gas supply. Our meter was gone. That's fun. So here's the main drag. This is basically, we're looking down Sullivan Street toward the old YMCA here. This is the pin drop or day sites.
Best
whatever.
day site, yep.
Miami Flats. The bar is over here, but we are basically where I'm standing, and the antique stores line this side.
And this is like shortly after we were getting like washed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is like, because I grabbed my camera when Rick came in, it was like, oh, the water is over the bridge. He says, come take some pictures. And that's when I got scared as fuck, because look at this. This is scary as hell. Like, this thing right here is a walkway of concrete that has, like, again, like a 6-8 foot drop to the sand, and then it slopes down to the middle of the wash. And here it is. Like,
and
this
there's
is where
the
homeless
bridge.
people live.
Yeah.
Oh, like, there are so many telephone poles and power poles in that wash, and it was a million miles an hour. Like,
and
that water was moving.
The crazy thing is, like, a stiff wind will turn the power out on our street, and the power never went out during this storm.
Yeah, it was. So this building here is the one directly behind ours. It has no roof, and recently someone drove a truck into it, and there was a sinkhole and crushed through the concrete slab. But always a, like, really iconic looking Old West building I've always loved. So here we are. I'm on the bridge. So when we saw that guy crossing the street with the power, that was over here. So this is the senior center, and I'm standing on the bridge from that picture.
Yeah.
This is the artworks. Like, this is Sweet Memories or the Joshua Tree. It was just deafening. Standing here right now, it was deafening. Like, the water was just whipping around, and every second I stood there snapping these photos, I expected the concrete under me, the 100-year-old concrete under me, to crumble and just, you'd never ever see me again.
Brick, yeah. So the propane tanks, so Globe, just like 5 minutes east of us, got their shit rocked also. And there's a propane place,
Matlock Gas.
Thank you. Matlock Gas. And it
every one of their tanks.
The whole town, the city smelled like propane.
Yeah.
And
so that's one thing that Miami did not get. Like we didn't get enough. Like no cars were swept away.
Yeah, there was
like,
the courtesy Ford dealership there. All their cars.
Yeah, in Globe, gonzo, just floated away. The one car dealership they have is now a vacant lot.
Yeah, and yeah.
Fucking wild to be in this shit. And keep in mind, like I wish I'd done this, but like standing at the back window of our shop, maybe I have a picture of it. Here's another vantage point to that same situation. So here's just one of the logs that was left after it came over the bridge. Mm-hmm. One of the many. Like there were a few over here.
There were
one, like right there.
There were a ton. Like Bruce and I were walking around and just picking them up off the middle of the road, so cars wouldn't get them.
Here we are. This is so let me go back. So where this bridge is, I just turned 180 degrees, and that's what this is. So what you're seeing here, this is that building that I was just showing you that's cool to the west. This is our building right here.
Yeah.
So like this is the window I was looking out of. The floor is below this water line. And usually, again, 15-foot drop to just a sandbar.
And we had water, the wash went up so high that water was going into the window.
It was
in the back of our building.
It was so, I don't know, it was chilling because the water coming in. So we have like our building is essentially in 3 chunks. We got the first chunk, which is like the serving area where everybody hangs out and we do movies and shit. Then there's the production area, and in the back of that is like a little storage area that has no insulation and no nothing. It's
supposed to be like an enclosed patio.
Yeah. So the water was coming in, and it wasn't water. It was mud. It was thick mud. Because like it almost felt like The Blob a little bit. Because like water, it would. You know when you see blood in movies and it's obviously just water?
Yeah.
You would expect something like that. This was like moving, and when something moves slowly, you impose personality on it. So you go, this is moving slowly, purposefully. It knows it's coming to fuck with me, and it fucks you up, dude. Work that mop as fast as you can, because you'll get a nightmare. So here we are the next day. The most of this mud.
We didn't even, so the Friday that it happened, that the wash overflowed and stuff, we had open mic night at our place. So we had everybody in our spot. Eva and Rick and Phil, they got food for everybody, kind of making it like a safe haven type place to have something to not think about the day before. And then it started downpouring. And then
everybody scattered. And
then as soon as Rick came and said, we have a problem, and the sandbags were doing nothing, everybody ran down the street because everything was fucked already.
If you had a basement, you had a pool.
Yeah,
the artwork's totally flooded, and spooky, legitimately. Very few things scare me as an adult. That fucking scared me. But all of this mud, basically, I had shoveled a lot of this shit off the night before.
Yeah, we were down here till past 11.
Something like that. Long night. So this is that same street the next day. So this is Jolt Thrower and one of his. I don't think he lives in the Artworks, but I think that's Katie.
She lives there.
Okay, so yeah, she's one of the people who busted her ass.
Kate, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just this dump truck. They would come and load huge buckets of slop, and it would ooze out the back, and the soundscape of the town was absolutely horrifying. But you could see, a staple of the town is this old Model A Ford back here in front of Doug and Courtney's little banjo spot.
Thank God he had that on a trailer, because that thing would have been gone.
So yeah, these huge mine vehicles were just coming through this Krista. Just coming through.
Holy moly!
Thick Mud was my nickname in high school. But seriously, I love you guys, and I hope you recover quickly. # Miami Strong.
It was freaking crazy, guys. This is these are the types of things that you see from afar, because these tires are 9 feet tall. And like all of these things were just rolling around the town. These huge skip loaders and bucket loaders.
People were taking pictures with that giant dump
like
truck.
it became an absolute tourist destination for all the wrong reasons. Like the amount of gawkers who rolled through with their with their jaws on the floor was fucking crazy. So this is the alleyway behind. This isn't going to mean anything to you guys, but this is the Pin Drop. They make custom boutique trailers, like travel trailers.
Yeah, they're like worldwide renowned people.
Yeah, douched with water.
Yeah.
Like standing water. Even after everything is settled, you would look into their place. 3 inches of water. So this is looking down Gibson. So this is like where this Live Oak is. That is the US 60. So that's the highway that passes through. And there's Sullivan right there. This is a local resident who lives on the street walking his dog, which he does religiously.
He's got the Model T,
Yeah,
right?
he's the one with Model A, Model T. I forget what it is.
I don't know.
But yeah, like just trying. I was stuck. All my good shoes were gone. I had like these old pair of Doc Martens I had on loan that I still do. So this is the Miami Artworks, and all of this was brought up in a wheelbarrow from the basement.
Yeah, so their basement was flooded to the ceiling. And then their first floor, which has the gallery, it has their restaurant, the Lyric, and the Skidoo, all had water damage, flooding. Obviously, they also had leaks because parts of their roof came off, and there are residents that live on the second floor, and their common areas and their hallways all leaking. Their like power stuff was all messed up. Like,
so here's something to like, because it kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but this running water right here, that's a sump that's in their basement that, what the heck? I kicked the thing and my light went out.
the light, guys. There it is.
Yeah, sorry, Jesus. Wait, no,
Nobody can see it.
Guys, you didn't even know what just happened.
But
You
the
didn't even
light went
see it.
out.
The light went out. It was a thing. Hey, moral of the story is, here's the thing. Like, that was the pump in their basement, like, making, whatever, basically zero progress as the day went on. I think, like, overnight, it dropped the level of the thing by 2 feet.
Yeah, and then they got a bigger hose, and then it was
so they
better.
all got, but just
like all their stuff got destroyed.
again. Yeah, here, this is a local guy, Wayne here. He lives in the Artworks and works, basically everywhere on the strip at some point or another.
Yeah.
Just like pawing through this stuff. And you can see there's the water running there.
And the town eventually brought a giant dumpster for them to put all their shit in.
It was insane. So this guy, Bruce here, he was actually displaced. This is the guy who lived in the church who, under 3-4 feet of water, and the cat that we saw earlier. This is the man who has been taking care of him and his sisters. So he's there taking a hose delivery for the pressure washer effort. So here is Rick
With the pressure washer.
the pressure washer. So this is a shot down. Again, there's Live Oak. So this building right here, we used to be the bank. It is the book bank now, being put back together in some way, form, or fashion. We'll see how that goes.
They also got flooded.
Also flooded in their basement. I believe this is a council member of the...
Oh, that's Evelyn Vargas.
Evelyn
She's the
Vargas.
economic director for the town.
Yeah, so she was like, on the scene, making sure everybody was getting food and stuff. Like, but just...
It was nasty.
thick and sloppy.
Like,
and
you had to
just-
really pick your steps when you were walking across the streets.
So this is the Miami Surprise Gift and Thrift, which is 3 doors down from us if you were to look this way. But they have like a really cool selection of stuff, but that building was just bought, so they're not going to have to close.
Yeah.
So here's my kid, my wife, this lady's name, I forget.
Denise.
Yeah. She works everywhere and anywhere you need
Yeah,
to.
she's a retired lady that just wants to get out of the house, and so she works at the various antique stores.
Yeah, we're all... If you were behind a broom or a shovel.
Yeah.
Here they all are, like... Brick, these are all denizens of the artworks, just sort of trying to put it all back together. And God knows what the status is right now, because when I left today, still full of equipment and dudes in reflective vests as far as the eye can see. Now, this guy, he doesn't even live in Miami. He actually lives in a little town between Miami and Superior called Top of the World, which is about a few thousand feet higher than where we are, so it gets a little colder. But he's always in Miami performing. He performs in our building every Thursday. Yeah, he's having some rough times as well. I appreciate that, FDO. Yeah, photos of people are always probably my best work because you can catch emotions. Yeah, here we are pushing out just muck. So if you maybe you didn't, but if you're aware of me, familiar, or you're in the Discord or whatever, there was an art show in this place put on by a local lady, Evelyn
Lund.
Maybe I'll post those pictures somewhere too, because like she had an amazing artist, and everything now is like this whole venue trashed.
Yeah, and yeah, it's crazy. Brick wants to know, do you think any buildings will need to be demolished due to damage?
God, I hope not. Like, that's the thing. I hope not, because these are all over 100 years old, and it would be a fucking travesty to lose any of them wholesale. I mean, depending on how dedicated you are to your antiquarian roots, any amount of restoration should be taken, under very heavy consideration. But here, it's like all of these buildings have been up for 100 years and left to rot for like the last 60, 50-ish. Simply because it was a boom town.
And then it wasn't.
And like, that's the thing. Like, it went from, the copper mine was paying for everything. The miners, they paid for the why. The town was built on copper, and then copper prices dropped. A bunch of places were able to produce it, and, shit moved on. Now that the EPA has like tightened up their shit, and there's 4 smelters in the U.S., this place has a chance to bounce back. It's just sad to have nature like swiftly kick it in the dick when it's like on the backside of the upswing for progress.
I don't think, at least from the pictures that I've seen of or been, IRL in Miami, but like globe wise, I don't think, unprofessionally speaking, that any of the structurally were. No,
I don't think anything.
A lot of them are concrete.
Some houses will definitely have to be leveled for sure. Stuff in the lower areas will have to be shit canned for sure. But everything on the main dragon in the downtown proper is totally salvageable. But as we look at this one here, so this is in front of the Miami Artworks. So this guy is actually a super solid dude, Richard. Yeah. He is one of those dudes. You move back to town. He's like, I'm here for the town. You will never see this dude far from whatever the town is putting on for support. And he was moving to Globe on this day. Yeah, he had the day planned to move his shit into a place where he could live and sleep, and instead he threw 12 hours of his fucking life at this slop pile in the basement of the art.
He drove his Jeep down. He saw me and he said, "Hey, I came down to see if you guys needed any help." And I was like, "I don't need any help, but they do." And 12 hours he was there. He came into our place afterwards, filthy. He took his shoes off. He came in and he sat down. I gave him a drink, and he was just like, he said, "I can move in a different day."
Yeah, it's wild. So here we are down. This is just down the other side. So our building is down here-ish. There's the soda fountain. There's Rick and everybody. So yeah, this is, they had scrapers, and all of these people were just moving and moving and moving, and it was just nothing but dump trucks moving load after load of mud down the street.
And that building on the very end is Sweet Memories, and
this one, yeah.
They on Saturday made a bunch of food, and I gave it away for everybody to eat because they really didn't sustain any damage like us.
Yeah.
And
so if we're looking just for a little context, this building right here is Bill's still open, hole. Now we have 2 holes. Mm-hmm. So here's some more This is Ken. He lives in the artworks as well. Here, like, just unbelievable. Like the amount of stuff that went on and was just wrecked and ruined. And like these two dudes, like this guy right here, I want to say his name was Chris. We met briefly. He's like, hey dude, like what's up with that? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, because like this guy was asking where like some truck was going, and this guy's like, hey man, don't bother him, he's just a photographer. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea, I'm not a truck driver. So but he was talking to me, he's like, yeah man, like we were just standing on the side of the road and like we asked to be picked up, and yeah, they just showed up and threw their asses behind some shovels. So this lady you've probably seen in several other pictures, this is Amanda. She is Jolt Thrower, aka Lob's partner, and they work at the Lyric, the Artworks, and the Skidoo. So they're the ones who are constantly keeping those three things open.
Yeah.
And then, so this is the owner of the Miami Flats, Gary. He's the one who, threw those dudes 10
hours of work. Yeah. He's an amazing, I want to say kid. He's not. He's probably my age. He's an amazing dude. Like he owns Daysite, which they do like audio stuff. He works on all the emergency vehicles in town, like making sure that all their shit's maintained. And he also helps run Miami Flats, which is a bar and pizza place that him and his mom run.
Yeah, solid dude. Like there are people who you run into, like your neighbors, and like there's a forced pleasantness to them. I don't get that a lot in this town, but least of all from Gary here. Like I don't know him from shit. Like we don't know each other. We've exchanged very few. Like I'll help you with this, or like he gives us wine bottles if we need them or whatever. I go over there and shoot the shit. But yeah, always like a genuine like, hey neighbor, like how's everything? Yep. Fucking crazy. And that is the end.
And he has
show.
He has thrown himself like whole hog into this whole thing. Like he I don't think sleeps. Him and his dad, like Gary and Gary, they ever since Thursday, they have been boots on the ground. Like he's driving his giant ass truck, like bringing people places and scoping things out to see like logistics on what needs to get done when and who can he send.
It has been the wildest time. Like it's one of those things that like 99% of the world probably just like sits back and sees this sort of thing on the TV. You go, oh my God. And you go, click,
right,
CIS or whatever.
And like, things like this happen all the time. Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird to like be in one. And like, it's also interesting in a social way. Cause like, since this town is so small and all the players in it are so compact and in the same spot, it's something I've never experienced in that, like, because I've been through, like, we've had storms or whatever and shit gets wrecked like in Mesa or Chandler or Gilbert or whatever. But yeah, it's like clean up your yard, shitbag, and get back to work.
Right.
Like nobody steps out of their house to be like, hey, can I help? Can I do this? Can I do that? Like, I don't know. I've never seen so many shovels appear from nowhere and brooms and people to push them. And like,
I'm telling you, the Thursday, the first storm, I was home with Elliot. I had just gotten him from school, and then shit hit the fan and David was down at the building. I got no less than 6 phone calls and plus texts asking if we were okay, because here the storm was crazy at the house. Like I didn't know what to do. I was scared just from the first storm, being alone, and then David being stuck down there. Like the people just reaching out was like you wouldn't get that in our neighborhood.
And it was don't worry about it, Ryan. It's all good. But like, yeah, it was everything that like Arizona I've ever seen throw at its inhabitants happened in that one instance. I've seen hail, I've seen rain so hard it's coming in like literally horizontally. I've had wind feel like it's gonna rip my dick off and throw it into the sky. I've had all the things that have happened, like massive floods, all that stuff. Like there was a time when I was in like probably grade school, like we had so much water that our entire backyard, like it was full of spadefoot toads, and you could not see the grass for all the eggs laid. And it was like, wow, that's how much water it was feet and feet and feet of the shit. But yeah, it's been a very, because it has to happen places, and you go, how does that happen? It feels like pouring water on an anthill looks. Everybody exits where they are, hits the outdoors, looks around, and knows not what to do. Because when it's actively happening, what do you do?
Right.
Like when the water and the mud and that slop was coming in our back door, and it looked like Clayface from Batman, and I go, oh my God, like, I just have to keep telling myself, like, focus on mopping the fucking floor, idiot, because I couldn't think about the thousands of gallons of water per second moving not 6 feet from me behind concrete that was laid
110 years ago, right?
And you go, well, it'll probably hold because it has so far, and it did. Like, all credit goes to our building. Like, it stayed intact. Like, the roof leaked a little bit. That's to be expected on a 100-year-old building, but
we got to clean the back out. But like, we were able to, provide a place for people and workers and whatever to come eat or.
It was really nice to have. Because you have a little bit of guilt that your place wasn't pounded into the dirt
like
and
everybody
you were left
else's,
crying with the shattered remains of your life in your hands. Do whatever we can, man. So yeah, people. It's been a trip.
It's been a crazy 4 days.
I'm already usually busy with just shit like regular life, and then you because this thing, everything stops. Like, you don't get to do anything else ever anymore until, and luckily where we were, how do I put this? So like when you go to a job that you hate, right? That after 8 hours, after 10 hours, whatever your shift is, you go, fuck this place.
I'm out.
Clock out. And even then, you get like breaks, and you don't really have to bust your ass very hard because you're on the clock probably, and there's other people to pick up the slack. But like when that job is now your entire reality, and there isn't like you after that 900th shovel full of shit, you don't get to go home and go to bed because under the 170,000th shovel load of shit is your mattress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did as much as I can, and I can't do much. I'm a fucking pussy. I'm a weakling. I do very little physically, and I can't imagine just like, well, the building you live in is now trash, and when will you get to sleep? Again, TBD. When's your next meal? TBD. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
See, I was more than happy to let anyone come in and fucking crash out. Like, Bruce is going to live in the loft. Like, whoever, because, like, where else?
Right.
Could you go?
Right. Like, he is, we're happy that we can help him, and he's appreciative that, like, he doesn't have to spend hundreds of dollars a night at a hotel with nothing because he doesn't, like, he lost
like literally everything, like all of his stuff, and that's the thing about insurance.
They suck.
And that's why I think whatever Krista thinks I should be insured for whatever reason. Whatever through her
health
job.
Insurance is different than
no, they can eat my ass too, but like flood is one of those things that no one ever covers because they only cover things that you falling down on the job like would result in.
Well, the thing is so Miami is in a flood zone, so insurances won't cover you because you're in a flood zone.
Anywhere you go, as long as I've been alive in Arizona, we've always had issues with flooding when it rains heavy because again, it's clay. It doesn't absorb literally any water. It just flows over the top and gets ripped apart and just deposits silt and sand everywhere it goes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's crazy. And like so then it rained again on Saturday. Not as bad, But so David had left already to bring Elliot back home, and I was still working and helping dig people out and all that stuff. But like the girl that runs the Y just had fucking exposed wires sitting in water.
Yeah, so like
it's crazy. And so David had to go and like
because like
fix it.
They wouldn't know because like all of the electrical components of this town had to be surface mount and run 70 years after the buildings were erected because they just didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily blame the scraper for like wrecking that shit.
Oh no, I wasn't
just
blaming them. It was just crazy that like.
But yeah, like it just
all the stuff. Yeah. And like the lyric, like their ice cream is like one of their main things. It's all Elliot gets at the lyric. And like I don't know if their fridge is broken, but they had to get rid of all their ice cream. Like nothing would stay frozen. Like they just had to. There was like a big soda dispenser out on the curb the other day that they were just throwing out.
But here's what I was talking with Bruce, because like helping him cope with all this shit too. We're all helping each other cope with all this shit. And I go, okay, it's like breaking a bone. In the moment, it's ass. It sucks, and it's probably the worst thing you'll ever deal with because you just broke a bone. But when that fuses back together, the fuse is stronger.
Yeah.
So what I keep focusing on is the government money, the state of emergency money, the GoFundMes, the volunteers, the support, and that because before this, Miami was ready to fall apart. That's why this happened. If it weren't ready to fall out like a house of cards, this storm wouldn't have wrecked literally every building on the street. But that being said, this may be spurring something to make them maybe not back to their original luster, but bring them up to some sort of modern day standard, and it wouldn't have happened otherwise.
That's true.
Like nobody would have released millions of dollars, hopefully, for repair, because all of these buildings still did need repair before they were even touched by the floodwaters. But that's the thing about humans, is you have to sometimes be taken to ground zero for people to give a fuck and or forget about your differences. Like Globe Miami, there's a lot of rivalries. Republican, Democrat, a lot of rivalries. Everywhere you go, there's a lot of people who's going to be split. But as soon as everybody's dicks get knocked in the dirt, we all forget about that. We go, okay, where are the fucking shovels?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll deal with that later. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. That was a look through my experience with all of this. There's still stuff going on to this day. It'll probably be going on for the next few weeks. But we're going to try to persist. We're going to keep our open mics. I'm going to work on the radio station here, hopefully to produce a few of the live events coming out to our shop. So if you're in our Discord or whatever, keep an eye out for those. Yeah. Since the school is flooded, this kid's off school all week, so any like midday bullshit probably not going to happen. But whatever. That's where we are right now. We're all just sort of waiting for things to get better, and the tensions are high everywhere because all the not toxic, but the over positive vibes that you have to like sort of shore your own emotional levies with are now eroding.
Right, and you're the first night, second night, you're pumping yourself full of adrenaline, pushing all this clay shit out of your places, and then you just
watching it and doing it is so, I don't know how I want to describe it. It's frustrating, but it's also demoralizing, because when you wake up the first couple days, you go, let's get this shovel in, let's do what your emotions are fucked, but everybody is there to help everybody, yada yada yada. By day 3, day 4, when all of your shoveling has just led you to shovel more, you go, holy fuck, dude. So I get it why people are at each other's throats, because imagine like building a sandcastle, and every night you wake up and the sandcastle's gone, but you need it to be there.
Yeah.
the exact opposite. You need that shit to be out of here, but every day you wake up and there's more. It's wild. Anyway, thank you so much for showing up and listening to all of this, guys. It's been a wild journey. We'll get back on track with the normal stuff very soon because, Halloween is right around the corner, literally now. Like, what's tomorrow?
Like
Is tomorrow October?
No.
2 days. We got 2 days till October when we can start Halloweening this shit up. But again, that's all I got for you. I am very tired. We've been doing a lot of shit recently, and that is just how it goes. So I want to thank you guys again for all of the effort that you guys give us, like reaching out, the time that you give us in watching this and talking with us and all that. Plus the super chats, Ryan, if you help with the GoFundMe, I appreciate that. All of it. I'm just so very tired. But we'll see you guys on the next episode of FOP Radio. And yeah, smell you later.
Bye.
For the try to
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.